Yeah, my nose is stuffy as shit.
Away, but it just doesn't mean people aren't compassionate. There's a reason why males don't compete against females. And this is part of the thing that I had with this guy when he was TV show host, where I was telling him, okay, do you think that males should be females? And he's like, no. I go, well, what do we think?
But
because it's transgender.
The way people are trying, so my feeling here is that the way to decide these issues is not to pretend that natal males do not have any kind of advantage, or to suppress discussion of that, or to suppress knowledge about testosterone. So I feel like I know what the literature says, and there is an advantage. Natal males will have an advantage. But to me, that doesn't decide the issue. I think there is a case to be made that you are legally female and you should be able to compete as a female. There's an ethical case there.
Legally female meaning what?
Well, if you have had your sex changed on your birth certificate,
right, but if there's
and
physical
you're Canadian,
advantages.
No. So I'm saying, yeah, and I agree. There's physical
We're
advantages.
talking about competition.
No.
We're not talking about a person.
I agree.
Just identifying, living life in society.
Yeah, but I think that the conversation can't happen when it's if we don't get the scientific facts out there, because people are so hung up on the science and arguing about the science that they're not even open to hearing the ethical case. So let's establish the science, let's work with the facts, and then let's sensitively hear the ethical case and consider that ethical case. So even if there is an advantage is there an ethical, philosophical case to be made that
Okay, yes or no question. Yo, happy Friday, bro. So this is a yes or no question, bro. Do you think trans women should compete in women's sports? Do you think a person who was born as a man and then changes his identity to a woman, should that person be able to compete in sports with people who were born as a woman? Yes or no? I concur. I concur. And then and then Joe Rogan said something earlier that I didn't even think about. There are women who identify as men and they get their boobs chopped off and they take testosterone and they grow beards and chest hair and all that shit and work out and get big muscles and they look like men. But even those trans men, they don't go play NFL football. They don't get in UFC and go fight a fucking man, a real man. You know what I'm saying? They don't do any real manly competitions. You don't hear about trans men competing in men's sports because they're not going to win. They're not going to win because a natural male is still going to fucking out-compete you. They're going to just outdo you. I don't care how much testosterone you got. That shit is synthetic. My shit is natural. And so, I don't know. This is the conversation. What is what are the major differences between testosterone and estrogen? I concur. Now, like you say, it doesn't matter what they do to themselves. Should people be free to do whatever? Man, that's your body. As long as you ain't hurting nobody, you can do whatever you want to do. Like the one dude, he looked like a fucking lizard alien now. The motherfucker tattooed his whole face and body. His eyes are tattooed. He got fucking horns on his head. He shaved his fucking teeth so that they're all fucking points. And he got a forked tongue in his ear. He got elf ears. And like, motherfucker just changed. He looked like an alien now. He got electrolysis, so he's fucking hairless. Hey man, but he ain't hurting. That shit don't hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't hurt nobody. If that's what you want to do to your own physical body, then hey, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? You feel feminine and you want to get breast implants and chop your weenie off, hey, fine. That's fine. More power to you. And I can still hang out with you and all that shit, but you was born a man. You still have a prostate, and you make natural testosterone, and that makes you different than a female. You don't have a uterus or ovaries. You were born with testicles and a prostate. So you say the genetics. And now when you want to come to ethics and fairness and legality and all that shit, that's fine and dandy. But a man who transitions into a woman should not be able to play women's sports. That's just how I feel, yo. They shouldn't be able to go box with women or run track and field with women or lift weights with women or play tennis against women or anything, yo. Just because you're a man, yo, you don't need to get into go and dominate the women's sports league.
should be able to compete against NATO women. You might say no because there's physical advantage, but at least we should get the facts out and then just sort of put the facts on the table so that we can have that conversation. But that conversation isn't even happening. So that people are closed off to what could be a decent ethical case, because maybe it's not all about physical advantage. Maybe there's some human rights issues that people aren't even hearing or open to right
Right,
now.
but we're talking only about athletics.
But there are
If there's
human rights
athletics,
in athletics too.
Yeah, but there's not if you have a massive physical advantage.
Yes.
If a guy identifies as a woman and he doesn't want to take hormones and he wants to compete in women's boxing.
Oh, okay. If you're not
but
taking
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Do you understand what's happening in
Of
high school
course.
sports, right?
I do.
There's two men.
I know.
Or two biological males in Connecticut.
Let's say male. Let's say male.
Whatever it is.
Okay.
That have,
Trans girls.
They have 18 state records.
Yes.
Which is crazy. So imagine.
The science hurts my feelings, so I don't like it. Hey man, I want to identify as a middle-aged white man, but that shit ain't been working for me neither. Yo, middle-aged white man get all the perks, yo. I wish I could identify as one. You know, an attack chopper is fucking cool as shit too, man. Them shits fly and got rockets. But I mean, am I really an attack chopper just because I feel like one? Am I really a middle-aged white man just because I feel like I am? I can do the Sammy Sosa, the Lil Kim, you know, and I can cut this and perm it, go the Michael Jackson way. But am I really gonna be a middle-aged white man? Nah. You know what I'm saying? But it would make me feel nice. You know, it would make me feel better if society accepted me as that, and I could go about my day easier knowing that my inward feelings are respected subjectively from everybody. And you got to call me the white man now. You know, that's my name, the White. Last name, Man. Oh, I was trying to finish up this Joe Rogan podcast from yesterday, and this lady wrote a book on testosterone. She's a professor at Harvard studying natural chemicals in the body, and she started studying testosterone and looking at how testosterone dramatically affects the difference in the sexes. It affects the way the male brain develops, the way the male body develops. Testosterone is what makes a man, and it's hard to diminish that, even if you decide to transition to the opposite sex and you take testosterone blockers. Shit don't matter, yo. Like, you were in the womb that way. You know what I'm saying? So you already formed a certain way. So they ain't but so much you can change. And so this thing is more, it's just like a psychological schism. But society is trying to say that, oh, there are more than 2 sexes, and there's 6 sexes, and there's 32 genders, and all this other stuff. And you have to respect that, because science shows that there is no such thing as a sex. It's only degrees, and people are like, that's like pseudoscience, because we already know what the real science is. And there are some rare anomalies, like hermaphrodites, or like micro penises, or giant clitorises, and those are far and few in between. For the most part, you know, the human makeup is structured the way it's structured. And and I don't understand how, like, this new science is just like trying to override what we already known about the human race for millennia. Male, female. Now it's like LGBTQRXZ, Zer, Zay. Man, listen. Him, his, her. she. You know what I'm saying? That's all I know, man. Non-binary, and then what is cisgender? It's like, oh, I'm a cisgender heterosexual man. Like, man, I'm just a man, yo. Like, I don't even cisgender. Oh, if you're natural or you're all natural, you're cis. Like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, man, it's gibberish. Everything is gibberish, man. I be trying to understand some of that shit, but then I just fall back. Like I said, I respect everybody, man. If you into that, if that's what you into, and you can understand it, that's just like uh, religion with me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I kind of understand religion and religious people, and that's if that's what you into, hey, more power to you. More power to you. I mean, you got your opinion, I got my opinion. We can agree to disagree, and we can still go out and have some drinks and smoke a doobie together. I don't give a fuck, yo. And the shit don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? Whatever what other people think, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, you want to talk about it, we talk about it. You don't want to talk about it, we can just talk about the things that we do agree on. It's a nice day. It was hot yesterday. That's a pretty bird. Man, this soup is delicious. I wouldn't mind smoking another doobie. That show on Netflix was awesome. We got all kind of shit we can talk about. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about a whole bunch of other shit. But when it comes to my opinion on shit, I just got my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, it's mass communication, man. And it's still pretty new. You know what I'm saying? We've only had this thing for a couple of decades now, so the internet is still pretty fucking new, yo. You know what I'm saying? We haven't had the internet as long as we've had fire or some shit like that. You know, even electricity. So the shit is new, and this mass communication where everybody can just say whatever they want and that's great too. But now you can build like these enclaves and and tell motherfuckers they're producing hate speech and all this stuff because they hurt your feelings with their opinions on facts. These are the facts. These are my opinions about these sets of facts. I mean, but it is what it is, man. Like I say, if some shit make you feel better, that's cool. People believe a lot of shit is not real just because it makes them feel better. And that's okay, man. You know, you want to believe in Santa Claus? That's nice. That's nice. Hubba bubba. Alright. Oh, did we get the gameplay for Battlefield 5? You know what? It's pretty fucking cool here. What if I turn that off? Turn that down. Looks like it's about to rain some more. It was raining a little bit on my way home, and then it stopped. I took my show down last night, so I got all my artwork and shit back in the house now. What I look up? Battlefield. Yo, where is? I thought they were gonna do a gameplay demo. I don't see. I don't see. Hey.
You!
Oh,
Hey,
the 13th.
Yeah, you!
Okay.
Don't you want to play something different? Bring it up!
So I saw this mine.
Not until the 13th. What's today? Oh, it's the 11th. On Monday? No, Sunday? How they gonna drop that shit on a Sunday? Let's look up Target. Anybody got PS5s on stock yet? Nope. Best Buy. Yo. Nobody got these shits nowhere. Has Sony said anything about what are they doing about the console shortage? When does that Battlefield come out? I gotta get one before Battlefield 2042. 2042. That's in like 20 years. Yeah, that's true. Like I said, I think if I get one, I'm gonna have to like pay fucking $900 cash to some fucking dude in person who just got lucky enough to get that shit. Let me check my Facebook Market real quick and see what's on here. My Facebook ain't even fucking responding. Hello. Anyway. So. Still working on this. A $1,200 disc version. Somebody has a digital edition console for $750. 4 days listed 4 days ago on Wilkes-Barre. That's what I'm saying, man. don't want to spend that much. But them bundle packs, they are them motherfuckers $700 something anyway. See, I know all these motherfuckers scammers, so if I was to do this show, I feel like I would just try to snatch that shit, nigga. You better know how to fight. Shits are hardly nowhere. There's only 2 people even in this area saying they got them shits for sale. One dude went $1,200 and one dude went $750. Yeah, then you got all these little off-brand websites talking about they got that shit. This shirt here is called StockX Streetwear, and they got PlayStations for $700. I doubt it though. Man, I ain't fucking with none of that shit, yo. Oh, anyway. I ain't got no snack up here. Damn, y'all might need a snack. Shit.
Numbing tweet from IGN, and I went back and forth in my head, and I said, I don't want to make this video because I'm going to get mad. Maybe I'm going to start something, maybe I'll say something wrong in the video. And I was thinking, no, this is the kind of video I love to make. And these are the kind of videos I think we need to make to call out people like this. And so I'm back and forth, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it. So here we are, and we're going to be talking about this tweet from IGN about Battlefield 2042. Now, look, you can have as many issues as you want on this game. You can love this game as much as you want. Completely up to you. I don't care. Let me know in the comments, okay, what you think. I'm very excited for it. This lack of single player, that's an issue. The live service, like the battle, season pass, they've done it for like 1,000 other times, so it's nothing new. There's obviously potential for problems here, okay? The game's not guaranteed to run well, especially on last gen, all this stuff. You can have criticisms, and I guess you could criticize this like IGN wants to do, but in reality, I think this is one of the stupidest angles to come at that I've ever seen. All right, now it's not surprising because in a world like this that we live in right now, okay, the world, it seems like gaming journalists demand that games make a political statement. Now, let me make it very clear because I don't want people coming at me, saying things that I didn't actually say. If a game wants to be political, it's not inherently bad. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those people that say, oh, if the game says we're going to make a political statement, that immediately means the game's going to be bad. I'll probably be on edge about it because it doesn't normally go over so well, okay? But I'm going to give it a chance. I give lots of games in my history, my career of playing video games, I've given a lot of games a chance, okay? With that being said, what I despise the most is gaming journalists demanding. This is the biggest thing. I want you to really take a step back and look. Gaming journalists want games to make a political statement, but here's the deal, and here's the most infuriating thing. They only want them to make political statements they agree with. If you make a political statement that they don't agree with, you don't do it at all. That's the most frustrating thing about it, is not only are they demanding something, which companies should make the game that they want to make. Aren't we all about freedom and ability for these developers to kind of operate independently and do their own thing? This is what IGN, Kotaku, Polygon, this is like stand for. But really, they're all liars, and we know that. You know that. More people, I think, need to wake up, though, because they're really saying, when they're saying that it does. So here's the tweet. Let's just read the tweet. Battlefield 2042 includes a climate apocalypse and refugee populations, but DICE claims they're purely for gameplay reasons and aren't social commentary. Now, I made the mistake. I clicked the article. I gave, and this is the deal too, right? Because we always talk about how do we stop them from doing stupid stuff like this. Well, it's not supporting them. It's not reading the article. So I was the idiot. I'm sorry. Please don't click the article. Like, you do what I didn't do, right? We don't want to give them clicks. But when you do click on it, if you do, basically the person just whines and complains the entire time. Says that basically the world is just a disaster. You know, we have all of these issues going on. And again, like, it's okay to address these things. It's okay to talk about them. Now, there's more than one side to every story, which again, gaming journalists just don't, they really, no journalist understands that. The
Drogon experience.
Logan Paul went 8 rounds with the greatest boxer that's ever lived.
Dude, I mean, like, there is no, because there's like, many people, and I think Logan Paul's aware of this, we're looking forward to the satisfaction of watching Logan Paul being knocked out by a great boxer. There was a sense of like, we are going to see the hand of justice in the world. You can't just decide in a fight the greatest boxer that ever lived and come out of that unscathed. You're dead. We were watching it the way people used to watch Gladiator things, where they would put the fucking short-faced bear out and like let Gladiator fight it. You know what's gonna happen. The bear's gonna eat the fucking gladiator.
But not in this case.
In this case, it didn't happen.
But here's my, I wrote an Instagram post about it today because I was genuinely, all day I was thinking before I got here, when I was at the gym, I was working out, and I was like, there's something about that that's really intriguing to me. Like, what is it?
Yeah.
And I tried to figure out what it was. Like, what about the novelty of the moment? Like, you, me, Tom Segura, Tony Hinchcliffe, Ron White, and Curtis Nelson were all sitting in my house.
Yeah.
We couldn't wait. The things about to happen, we were all like, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening. We're all looking at them across the ring from each other. Jake Paul's like 3 feet taller than him. Like, this is bananas. This is so wild. And he survived. And Floyd Mayweather made like $100 million. He made like $100 million fighting a guy who had never won a professional boxing match.
Holy shit. The annoying thing was
amazing.
like the announcers weren't acknowledging what was happening, which was like, what the fuck?
The problem is they had too many people talking.
They had a lot of people talking.
There was Morrow.
Yeah.
How do you say the name? Jesus Himero. Who's the other guy? Mauro Ranallo, I already said, and there was one other gentleman. The guy who got in the ring and interviewed Floyd and anyway, there was 1, 2, 3, 4 guys talking, which is a lot of people talking. It's hard to do. But it would have been nice to have options. This is what you said. If there was an optional stream, we could listen to like Teddy Atlas, like a boxing expert. So, because those guys were being funny and they were having a good time and everything like that, which is great. And then I think that like comes from Triller, Triller, like you have Snoop Dogg fucking around.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. I understand what the reason was behind it, but sitting next, I'm not like, I don't watch boxing a lot, so it's cool to be sitting next to you and you're like, oh look, he's like trying to drain him, or oh look, he fucked up because in the very beginning he expended too much energy. These are things I don't even know. So that's all. It just added a dimension to it, It was interesting.
Well, I was trying to break it down technically. I'm like, there's some interesting things that are happening here. Like, first of all, Floyd is consistently putting pressure on him and moving and putting pressure on him and moving, putting pressure on him. And after the third and fourth round, everything comes out a little slower. So he has to be more measured. So what Floyd is doing, like, is consistently engaging with him and then pulling out. And consistently engaging. And making him swing and miss and swing and miss. It's brilliant. For people that got mad at it, I get it. It's not Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather 5 years ago. But what it is one of the best boxers of all time making $100 million fighting a guy who's 3 feet taller than him and 35 pounds heavier than him who can't win.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. Dude, that fight was amazing. And there's a lot of amazing things. First of all, Floyd's amazing. The fact that Floyd has the balls at 44 years old to decide, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and fight some dude who's 35 pounds heavier than me at 26 years old. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then the fact that he could put it on a guy like Logan Paul. And here's another one. The fact that Logan Paul went all 8 rounds. That's astounding. You have no idea how tired you would be if you were boxing with the greatest boxer that's ever lived. I mean, maybe he's not the greatest, because that's subjective. But in my opinion, he's the greatest. The reason why he's greatest, in my opinion, is he's only been hit hard and hurt like 3 times his whole fucking career. There's no one that can say that. The art of boxing has always been hit and not get hit. And in my mind, no one's ever done that better than Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Now here he is in his 40s. He's made hundreds of millions of dollars fighting people who have really no chance of beating him.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy, man.
It's amazing. Dude.
The controversy of the day.
People think he got knocked out.
They got knocked out and being held up right here.
People are so silly.
Dude, what if
you don't understand? They don't understand shit about getting hit in the head. These are the same dummies. He's just hanging on, man. He went for an overhook. You guys have no idea. This position right here, high elbow, going in for an overhook. If he was wrestling, he would go back the other way and throw him on his back. This is a normal thing for a wrestler. Logan was a wrestler. In fact, ready for this? See how he's got that high overhook on the left-hand side? Watch how this happens again. This is what happens when a bunch of people comment on fights that don't know shit. You see that high overhook? Watch one more time. So he hits him, and now look at Logan's right arm. Watch what happens. Or excuse me, left arm. See what happens? He's in control. He's holding on to it.
Right.
He's a wrestler.
He's not going limp.
My friend Guy Sacco, who runs Defense Soap, that's his company, he owns that company that I rave about all the time, he told me today that Logan in the 1990s. And he said he was really fucking good. He said he was a really talented kid. There's a video of him wrestling with Paulo Costa, who is a UFC, a UFC middleweight contender, like a beast of a guy.
Yeah.
And Logan fucking scrambles on this guy, and like he's really good. Like he can fucking wrestle. So when you see that, he's not knocked out, you knuckleheads. You stop talking about fighting. He's holding on, and he's protecting himself, and he's controlling Floyd, and he's pushing his head to Floyd's chest. Catch new episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience for free, only on Spotify. Watch back catalog JRE videos on Spotify, including clips. Easily, seamlessly switch between video and audio experience. On Spotify, you can listen to the J.
Visions you've had entire life aren't hallucinations. They're memories.
You're talking about reincarnation. We have fought for centuries, but you can't stop what's coming.
Logan Paul goes 8 rounds in the ring against Floyd Mayweather and doesn't get knocked out.
It's crazy. I did the impossible already.
On Sunday night, the YouTube star fought one of the greatest boxers of all time at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida.
Introducing Logan, the Maverick Paul!
Mayweather was clearly a better fighter, as was expected, but Paul utilized his huge height and weight advantage to lean on Mayweather and avoid taking more than 1-2 clean shots at a time from the former multi-division world champion. The 26-year-old social media star entered the ring well over 30 pounds bigger with a 6-inch reach advantage. And after playing mostly defense in the second round, he turned up the offense in the third. Of course, it was known heading into the Showtime pay-per-view fight that no winner would be announced unless there was a knockout. But after the fight, Mayweather had nothing but high praise for Paul.
You gotta realize, I'm not 21 anymore, but it's good. I move around with these young guys, test my skills, just to have some fun. Great young fighter, strong, tough. He's better than I thought he was.
Despite what would have been a clear loss had judges been present, Paul was still pretty proud of his performance.
I don't want anyone to tell me anything is impossible ever again.
And while the crowd may have booed throughout the fight, looking for a definitive finish via knockout, that moment never came, and neither man appeared seriously hurt at any point.
The fact that I'm in here with one of the greatest boxers of all time proves that the odds can be beat. I'm the Maverick. I go right when they go left. I'm the unorthodox one. I'm the independent one, and everyone has it in them. Floyd Mayweather, it was an honor. I hate being a kid. I love you guys. I love all you guys. This is one of the greatest moments of my life. Damn, I'm happy.
E.T. caught up with Paul leading up to the big fight, and he says right off the bat he was ready to go.
You hear that Floyd Mayweather wants to get in the ring with you. Your first reaction is,
let's go. Sign me up. Where's the dotted line? Like, can this happen tomorrow?
How does it feel knowing that you are the one to pull Mayweather out of retirement?
It's crazy. I did the impossible already. I was going to do it again Sunday. Easy.
And when E.T. chatted with Paul in March, he joked about taking on Mayweather in the exhibition fight.
I'm going against Floyd Mayweather. And they're saying he's pretty good, this guy. They're saying he's never lost. These are the rumors that I don't know if I believe them.
Okay, so Paul was clearly kidding about Mayweather's impressive record. The semi-retired fighter, who competed in 5 weight classes, stepped back from the sport undefeated with a record of 50-0 with 27 wins by knockout.
I feel so dangerous. I feel so confident. I don't know if I've ever felt more confident about anything in my life. I'm a dangerous fighter, man. I've been doing it for 3 years now, and no one's seen me fight for over a year, and it's all I've been doing.
Paul lost his debut professional fight against YouTube star turned boxer KSI in November 2019. But he told E.T. the experience taught him a lot.
You learn a lot when you lose. I would almost be more afraid of the man who's lost and is determined and also has nothing to lose. Like, think about it. I don't have anything to lose. I lose against Floyd Mayweather. Who cares, right? You fought Floyd Mayweather. I win against Floyd Mayweather. I'm the greatest fighter of all time. There's a lot of freedom in that.
Need a freelancer? Go to Fiverr.com and find one in seconds. Or don't go to Fiverr and waste your time searching for freelancers instead of finally taking that trip abroad. Constantinople. Shipping Air Prussia. Find your freelancer quickly and easily at Fiverr.com.
Everything we needed but tortillas. I thought we had some. And we have like 2 left.
Dang.
And we don't have nachos either, so it's not about to be good.
I wonder how the firm's doing without its fearless leader. You sure you want to leave all behind?
Stay restless with the RX crafted by Lexus. Experience amazing at your Lex dealer.
I never even heard of this Logan Paul dude, like, before this shit, like, but he's supposed to be like super famous YouTube or something.
Yeah, HQ, welcome aboard. I'm Aaron Sillius. One of the favorite storylines of novels, TV shows, movies, is sort of a odd couple type of theme. This guy and this guy together, paired together, living together, going cross country together. How about in the ring together? That's right. They don't look alike. They don't come from the same place. They certainly don't have the same resume. But it was about to be on, like, well, as they used to say, Donkey Kong. What happened? Let's get to it. Let's take a look.
Did we really say on like Donkey Kong?
Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul, 8-round exhibition. You know Floyd Mayweather, right? 50-0. 5-division world champ, 44 years old, fighting for the first time in 2.5 years. He said, I'm retired from boxing, but not retired from making money. And then that guy, Logan Paul, the new school, 20 million subscribers on YouTube. 0-1 in his professional boxing career.
Somebody who got 20 million subscribers on YouTube.
Late round 1. Backs Mayweather in. Flurrying. What's going on here? Logan Paul's brother, Jake Paul, you know, he's also, he likes it. Now, Brian Campbell still says round 1 score 10-9 Mayweather. He knows more than me, but I like Paul. Round 3, Logan Paul throws the uppercut. Floyd counters that block. Take another look. Mayweather got rounds 2 and 3. He also got round 4, and then in round 5, more Mayweather. It was not completely one-sided. It was just Mayweather was a little better, right? 8th and final round. Logan Paul going the distance. A little showboating. He did win the last round, that's for sure. So Mayweather and Logan Paul go the distance in the exhibition. It was fun. And now it's over. Logan Paul, I mean, got at least 1 round. I would think a lot of people had him at 2. I think most people would say Mayweather had the majority of rounds. He certainly had more punches landed.
Whatever that nigga do on YouTube, you better not fuck with his ass in real life. That fucking 6 foot.
Oh, not exactly economical.
What?
With that 13% punch land rate.
I knew if it went the distance, I won
6 foot something.
Technically, but that wasn't the game plan.
90 pounds, and that motherfucker can really box a little bit.
You know, the legend, the boxer, kind of relying on him to figure out the game plan and to play off his. I think I got him with a good shot in that first round, which kind of threw him off a little bit. And I mean, yeah, surviving against Floyd Mayweather, like.
I mean, Floyd just got one of those.
Great. He's my second opponent.
One best. There's always multiple.
He's my second opponent. Floyd Mayweather is my second opponent, and so yeah, I mean,
for one to be the best.
you know, I'm happy. It's good. It was good fun.
All right, Logan Paul goes the distance and definitely wins, you know, some portions of this fight. He had only boxed professionally once before. It didn't go that well. Now, this was one where they didn't have judges. They had a ref, but no judges. They don't have official scoring. This was an exhibition. The only way you knew for sure that you would have a winner.
That shit was all about the money, yo. Floyd got $100 million off of that shit, yo.
Right there in the middle. 20 million social media subscribers.
Coming out.
They hope that would translate into pay-per-view buys for an exhibition with the greatest of all time.
Off of that one fight, he made more money than I ever seen in my whole life.
And he was able to survive.
100 million.
As you guys can see. Every time he punched, he would clinch. Every time he would punch, he would clinch. He was the bigger guy. And a little awkward. His background is wrestling, if I'm not mistaken. So he was good at tying me up. So a guy that came in over 200 and some pounds.
Yeah, 200 some pounds.
I came in on 55, but no excuses. I had fun tonight. And, you know, I go out there to put on a show. And I really believe that he was, you know, just going the distance. That was a win for him. So he was happy with the distance.
Well, you can be as good as Floyd Mayweather. You can't be better because 50-0 is 50-0. 27 goes. I mean, he's got 12.
Yeah, that's the thing. He might not be the greatest boxer or whatever, but he got one of the best records, yo.
Never fought anybody who weighed in over 154 pounds. Paul weighed in at 190. How about that? This was definitely an odd couple with Mayweather being out of his comfort zone. All right, here we go. Let's get our guys in. Luke Thomas, Brian Campbell. We knew this was.
And Logan Paul fought who else first? Some other dude and got his ass beat.
no headgear. 10-ounce gloves. This time it's professional. KSI, 2 years old than Logan Paul. Paul, bigger, stronger, more chiseled, but that could be a disadvantage. Some say he's 2 inches taller than KSI, and they both have a 76-inch reach. Logan Paul, first onto the scene as a teenage, creating 5 YouTube videos. He was humorous. Everyone loved him. He was entertaining. His whole life has been about popular.
Okay.
By entertaining the masses. At first, it was for video games and his entertaining celebrations. Then he moved on to making video content, picking up millions of followers along the way. But tonight, when the bell rings, this becomes the one video he can't edit. You only get one shot. Will KSI rise to the occasion in Los Angeles and beat Logan Paul?
KSI's looking to come inside and land that big overhand like he almost did. He's going to be shooting that all night.
First fight was a draw. Logan Paul started fast, ended slow as KSI lands a right hand. And right away is it Logan Paul putting his hands up. It seems like he's trying to fight like Roy Jones with his hands by his waist.
Yeah, he really needs to use that jab with authority. He's not pumping it out with authority. He's letting KSI come right inside. There it is again. The overhands keep shooting that overhand. He's going to keep doing it. His hands are down. Big left hook.
Looked like Logan Paul beat a punch with that jab.
So he only fought 2 times and both times.
Now Logan's got the gloves up. Good jab. Got caught with the right hand. That's out of the way of that one. KSI looking like a tough man now. Throwing haymakers.
That's what he wants. He wants it in the inside. He wants it rugged.
Just reading the tea leaves right now, if KSI doesn't land something significant here in this round, maybe the 4th, the last 2 rounds are going to be hellacious for him because he won't have much gas. Was that a knockdown? No, that's Jack Reese. It was behind the head. Jack Reese says, let's go. Logan Paul may be hurt. That looked like it was behind the head, though, Ryan.
He needs some hold, though. Those type of shots. You can be hurt by them. You can mess up your equilibrium. He needs a hold.
He wants a jab, and then a right hand.
He needs to let those punches.
He's holding his hands back, though, Raheem.
He's keeping his hands at home because most fighters know that a counter punch is possible to cover. It's hard to keep those gloves up, even if they're only 10 ounces. A fight at this pace is very difficult to keep your hands up and your offense going. So these guys, which one they're going to do?
It's good to see.
Let's not forget that the reason this fight, I think, is still happening is because both these guys are well conditioned. You can't fight at this pace for this long, even.
Big uppercut! Big uppercut for Logan Paul! KSI stumbling and fumbling to his corner. He's complaining.
He's holding it though.
Score a knockdown, then take away 2 points for hitting him when he was
2
down.
points?
And then 2 points for punching when he's down.
I agree with Brian. And the winner of this last round, and for no other reason than just the last bell tolling and you being ahead in that round, could take
Oh, nice jabs there for Paul. Under a minute to go here in the 5th. Good body shot there from KSI. Haven't seen a ton of those. Couple flipping blows from KSI, who seems to have found his 2nd win here at round 6. Seconds left. We go to the scorecards again, and a draw doesn't seem that far-fetched.
Zachary Young scores the contest 56-55. He has it for Logan Paul. Patrick Russell scores it 57-54. He scores it for KSI.
KSI.
Dr. Moret scores the contest 56-55 to the winner by split decision from the United Kingdom, the Nightmare, Ray Ellis.
It is game over. KSI with a split decision victory here in the City of Angels, and look what it means to him.
Ain't he from the UK? Damn, he has some black UK dude come over here and fuck you up.
Joe Rogan Experience.
Welcome to episode 1666.
What episode they said? 1666? 1666. What the hell? They stupid.
There can be only one.
Why?
I don't know. It's the rules. Them's the rules.
That's a terrible rule. That's like the worst rule.
But for episode 1666, there was only one option. That was you.
Oh, thank you. I'm honored by that. Thank you so much, Joe. It's so nice to be here.
Dude, it's so nice to see you. You're such a good friend that every time I see you, I'm transported. Like there's no time lost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you're so tight with someone that when you see them again, you're like transported.
Yeah.
Like you're immediately back to where I last saw you again.
Yeah.
There's no like, hey, God, haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
How are you?
What's going on?
It's like,
Yeah. Yeah. That's real friendship. I mean, that's it. If it's not that, what is it?
I'm so concerned about this wig catching fire. We're surrounded by candles, and I believe this wig is flammable.
Got the bromance.
Yeah, that wig is from China. I don't know what it is. That could be some bizarre synthetic. That could be anything.
This is the hair of a billionaire who said the wrong shit.
No shit. And they
probably made him grow his hair first. They probably kept him in a tunnel somewhere and made him eat rats, whatever rats he could catch.
Yeah.
And just gave him hair vitamins. Then when his hair was long enough to make a wig out of it, they let him go.
That's a lot of work to get some hair.
Yeah, and now all he does is coach John Cena. His job is to coach John Cena on what to say.
Dude, that was weird. That was really weird. That was one of the weirdest things. I'm not a fan of, or not a fan of John Cena. No John Cena opinion. But that was just an odd.
It was scary.
Because they want, it's a lot, I guess it's just a lot of money, man. The Chinese dollar.
Here's how much money it is. Ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
That movie made $160 million the opening weekend.
Yeah.
I believe $134 million of it was from China.
What movie?
Oh, God.
What are they talking about?
Get in. Let's do our apologies to China.
I need to learn Mandarin and start talking shit in Mandarin.
Just say.
Start doing my act in Mandarin.
It sounds cool.
It sounds great. Well, the amazing, the most impressive thing about that video was not just that China got John Cena to cuck, but also that John Cena speaks perfect Mandarin.
Yeah.
How long did that take?
It's a mystery. I don't know, man. It was just strange. That's some really, really, the most, it's again, like, you know, when we're watching that fight. Oh my God! When we're watching that fight last night, and you're just watching it, and you're trying to make sense of the new reality. You know,
For pro wrestler John Cena has touched off international controversy.
Cena apologized to the people of China after calling Taiwan a country during a promotional interview with a Taiwanese broadcaster.
Taiwan is a country. I mean, it's an independent country. John Cena is not alone in Hollywood in towing that line.
我必须说，现在就是很重要。我爱更尊重中国跟中国人。
Show has acquired the full apology.
你好，中国，就是叫西亚。我做很多采访，很多。所以在一个采访，我有一个错误。所有人问我，如果我可以用中文，所以请有人给我，所以很多采访，很多我有一个错误，我必须说，现在就是很重要。我爱更尊重中国跟中国人。中国跟中国人。
Yo, why is he? So this has been.
So he said country.
So Taiwan, has been saying that they're their own independent country, and China's been saying for like decades, like no, and then they don't get any acknowledgement in the UN, and nobody doesn't question China over that shit. When Taiwan says, look, we're our own independent.
I was lost for a minute too, because I thought Taiwan was
Cena is alone in Hollywood in towing that line.
我必须说，现在就是很重要。我爱更尊重中国跟中国人。
Now the Late Show has a full apology. He says,
你好，中国，就是叫西亚。
Taiwan, I wrongly said Taiwan is a country. Wrongly. Taiwan is not a country. It's not even a real place. It's like Zootopia.
我可以用中文，所以请有人给我，所以很多采访，很多我有一个错误，我必须说
Don't get me started on Tibet. Always complaining about China. I'll give Tibet something to complain about. This motherfucker love Chinese so much, he's learn their fucking language, yo. Like,
It's a Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
That's weird. So he was in an interview.
So why can't they get in accordance with each other?
Who, China and Taiwan?
Yeah.
Because Taiwan is like an island, I think, and I don't know. They want to be independent, but China's like, no, you're a part of China mainland there, and China just
But
like he
I
says,
was
like
about to say, like you meet different people from different places. Like the Chinese people that I've met are different than the Vietnamese people that I've met. You know what I mean?
yeah, but then
One person was just a bit different than the Chinese people that I've met.
the Chinese people, like mainland Chinese, they just say there is no Taiwan, it's China. Don't even call it Taiwan. What are you guys still saying Taiwan for? This shit is fucking China. Wow, that's crazy.
And they're all different.
Not Shapiro. Oh, wait a minute. Everybody's talking about this. So I heard Joe Rogan say it. Ben Shapiro is talking about it. Louder and Crowder's talking about it. Everybody's like, the fuck are you doing?
What about this sovereign Venezuelan currency, though? Cryptocurrency?
Louder with Crowder brought to you in part by.
They money been going down like in Venezuela for years. Like they were just.
But their shit is like a crazy astronaut. Like every 35 days or something, they said the prices are doubling.
For their money?
Everything.
Oh no,
for buying stuff.
Yeah, and then their money was like just in the streets, yo. People, you couldn't even spend it because
They were, and then they said something about in
It wasn't
somewhere in
real shit.
Africa they were just printing it out and they couldn't keep up either. But it's called cryptocurrency, and it's supposed to be the first sovereign cryptocurrency just for Venezuelans.
They need something different because their old currency is debunked, yo. That shit is gone. You can't.
And I was just watching something earlier, like trying to learn more about cryptocurrency, and then it brought me into videos about money and the start of money, and then it's like money ain't backed by shit. So I'm like, well, I guess you can make. I mean, money is kind of an illusion. So it's like you can just make whatever you want. That's why I be so confused when all this new shit comes out, because I'm like, what the fuck is it backed by?
Well, most of the cryptocurrency on the blockchains are backed by like the initial no reason because we already paid taxes on goods and services.
Right.
And then Uncle Sam taxes our wages for federal tax and all other kind of shit,
Yeah,
which is
PA
basically
is crazy
illegal, yo.
with the taxes too. Like at least in Maryland, yeah, you might pay like Medicare, you might pay, you know, your state, your federal, whatever. But like here, you got school taxes. You got where I work at, it's a township tax. Like, and it's not much, but just the fact that I work in a township, I have to pay a couple dollars in taxes every month for that. And then whatever other random shit, and then I'm like, you turn around and you still gotta pay that shit in the store. Like, I've never in my life. PA is one of the. And then you pay all the money for school and everything else, but why the education not that great here? In Maryland, we don't pay the school tax. We got public schools and all of that, and much better schools and medical healthcare. Tell you one thing, though, you get more bang for your buck with it. As far as land. But just like you said, even land ain't free because you gotta pay property taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Boozy said taxes are bullshit. Well, I'm ready to dump some tea and some water and some shit. I'm ready to burn some shit down. I ain't trying to die though.
Taxes are that fucking legal scheme. That's how they got you.
I get why we have them too. I just wish that we could delegate what our taxes go for.
Once again, we got sales taxes on everything, and the sales taxes go towards the state to fund the state infrastructure and all of that shit. Right. And then the Federal Reserve can tax the profits of corporations. And once again, they tax every individual citizen. For more money, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like I would have no problem paying good, you know, a decent amount every month if it was going towards, you know, schools or whatever. But like, even like, okay, take going through the tunnel for example. Like I paid for an easy pass, but the motherfucking roads always fucked up. How I'm paying y'all to fix the roads and the roads always fucked up.
That's what I'm saying.
Time to just go live in the woods, y'all.
That's fucking balls, yo. Society is crazy, and how they got that shit set up as like a money scheme, yo. Yeah. For the ones at the top, yo. Motherfuckers just sit back, peachy. Them bank owners, like the motherfuckers who own the Federal Reserve, who make the money, them the motherfuckers, yo. You make money for a country. What the fuck anybody gonna tell you?
Jay Boozy said, yeah, I agree. Choosing what my taxes go to would be ideal. I swear, wishful thinking. But I definitely don't want my money going to paying for some fat fuck in the office that don't give a fuck about me. Or a motherfucker who ain't fixing them damn roads. Or some cops that's out here killing some black people.
Yeah, right. Like, no, it'd be easy if we had a flat tax. I think Canada has a flat tax. You pay the same amount of money each year, so every year you know what it is. But then on top of that, like you say, they should hand out a ballot. Like, what do you feel are the most important issues in our country this year? And everybody get to vote. Like, where the majority of the tax dollars should go.
Like, yo, I don't even give a fuck if it was a young mother on Section 8 that's in school and helped her go to school or helped her with daycare for her kid. But I just want to know, like, it ain't some bullshit. And the thing is, what I don't understand is, like, yo, I see people do those GoFundMes and those polls and shit like that. If we did that shit in every single city, we could have all the roads, we could have everything fixed. I mean, not overnight, but you know what I mean? Like, piece by piece, in a couple of years, you could have shit basically up and running almost anywhere. And I don't know why that's, like, not a thing. But it's like we pay all the money for taxes and they don't do shit with it. So it's like, I don't know. But then even if we did, like, people were to rally up and do some type of fundraiser or donation, something like that, I feel like they would still require you to get permits and they would still give you a hard fucking time. And they're not gonna let you go out there and do the road yourself. Like I said, time to go live in the woods. Jay Boozy said, I wish more money went to inner city and public schools.
Fucking school suck, man.
Maybe when we get some people in the office that are closer to our age and not our grandparents' age, still trying to live in the fucking 1900s and shit.
That's a cute picture.
It is. I'm seeing you paint a kid too. Because I really like the one of the girl and the baby. Or I'm sorry, the grandma and baby. Uzi said, more specifically into art, music, and shop classes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely need more STEM programs. That's what we're trying to focus on, man. Fucking science, technology, engineering. Well, make it STEAM instead of STEM and add an A to it. And it'd be art and math. I said I got kind of like in my high school was Mayo High School for math, science, and technology. So even then, back then we were kind of on that STEM type shit, yo.
You had to take engineering classes?
Yep.
I hated engineering classes.
I took engineering, took AutoCAD, like our maths. I got up to fucking
You said STEM for sure.
like
I went to a STEM
pre-cal or some shit. I ain't understand all that shit.
That's what I was going to say. I went to a STEM school, but I didn't like it. But, like, all the math and stuff. But my school, we had weird classes. Like, we had, like, a child care class. And we had cooking. And, like, you could do 4 years of cooking class if you wanted to, as your elective. So I did, well, it's nutrition, but then you go into cooking. I did a cooking class. I did computer classes. I did an AP psychology class. So we had some good courses, but as far as the engineering and that math shit, oh no. Once I got my credits for math, I stopped.
Alright, how long we been in here? It did start kind of late. But let me listen to what Crowder got to say about John Cena being a bitch for China.
Another story. John Cena. So John Cena gave an interview, all natural, by the way. Oh yeah, all natural. Because everyone is larger and leaner at 50 than they were at 25.
Yes. Just ask Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Can I see that again? That is just. Yeah. Yeah.
Look at this right here. What is going on there?
All the veins?
Yeah.
Oh. His nipples look like milk duds that were left in the sun too long.
John.
All natural. And I want to talk about this for, I think it actually is a valid argument at this point when people say, well, the Constitution was written for a different time, and of course it applies to the printing press. Of course the Second Amendment applies to print weapons. I don't think, however, the Founding Fathers could have foreseen a world in which our own government is looking out for the best interests of a foreign communist entity and is in bed with media, corporate media, and entertainment industry entities who grovel at the feet of China. Let's keep in mind here what John Cena did. John Cena simply in an interview mistakenly thought that Taiwan was a country. And China said, we're not gonna run your new film. We're gonna ban you. And so he had to apologize, and he issued an apology saying, I'm so sorry for just acknowledging the existence of Taiwan, which, by the way, the World Health Organization doesn't do either. So he learned Mandarin because he's trying to break into the Chinese market, and he issued an apology on video.
Oh, yeah?
And I think, actually, we do have, the subtitle wasn't correct that you saw on a lot of social media. We have that apology right now.
你好，中国，就是叫西亚。我必须说，现在，在《速度与激情》中，我做很多采访，很多，所以在一个采访，我有一个错误，所有人问我，如果我可以用中文，速度与激情中人给我很多资讯 information。所以很多采访，很多 information， 我有一个错误，我必须说现在是很重要，我爱跟尊重中国跟中国人，我很抱歉对我的错误，对不起，我很抱歉，你必须了解，我。很爱，很尊重中国跟中国人。
I'm just glad he apologized.
I'm just glad
it's necessary.
At least he's taking ownership.
Now we know the origin of the origin story.
I wanted to note that this man is a compulsive. John Cena is a compulsive liar.
Yeah.
As seen by the fact that he claims he's never used steroids.
Yes.
Performance-enhancing drugs. And I don't like the term performance-enhancing drug because if a doctor gives you any medication that is not a performance-enhancing drug, it's malpractice. Everything you take is a performance-enhancing drug. It should be. No, I'm talking about copious amounts of illegal steroids to the point that his forehead is outgrowing the skin and he might need a soft-boiled helmet. And he's like, yeah, look at me when I was 18. You can just tell that I'm all natural. Look, when I was 18, I was already big. Yeah, you're already on steroids at 18. We can see those pictures, and we can tell you that you were already on steroids, just like Brock Lesnar. And these people want to believe them. They're compulsive liars. But John Cena is apologizing for acknowledging that Taiwan is a country. No one has a problem with that outside of communist China. And of course our administration supports them. And this is insane when you think of it. People go, oh, is it a big deal that Red Dawn replaced China with North Korea? Okay, not really. Is it a big deal that John Cena had to apologize? Oh, I don't know. Oh, is it a big deal that YouTube doesn't allow you to speak out? I guess now we're getting into a different territory. Yeah, all of this ties in when you have government officials signing trade agreements that favor foreign nations who commit gross abuses of human rights violations, and Hollywood does their bidding. We are at a very scary point, and I do think it's you know where that, let me put it this way, because I can't say this because we'd get in trouble because the punishment for treason is execution, and I would never want to advocate that.
Right.
Does it seem treasonous? Well, I'll tell you what. You know where it would be treasonous? China. If Jackie Chan went out and made a film that's pro-America and acknowledged Taiwan as a country, Jackie Chan wouldn't exist anymore. So China would consider it treason, but we don't have a problem with it. And you wonder why we don't believe that we're going to win wars.
I feel like foisting the Fast and Furious series on us is worse.
Yes.
I mean, it's really what we need to get down to. It's not his apology. It's not Taiwan. It's the fact that he's in a terrible movie that will only make money in China.
Yeah.
Yeah, and David Carradine just considered Taiwan a good time.
Right. Yes, he did. At least he went doing what he loved.
Is it like the 10th movie? I mean, I swear, I was baffled by the fact that Fast and Furious franchise has, I think, 1 or 2 movies in the top 10 grossing all time, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And I looked at the stats, I'm like, there can't be that many stupid people in the United States, and I was right. It's all in China.
My friend wrote the last one, and I didn't even congratulate him. Pretty good.
Okay, so there's going to be some...
Not even a thumbs up on the text.
Yeah. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Hey, I like the other movies you made. For the first Fast and the Furious in 2001.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm walking out, people are like, that was awesome. And I'm seriously repeating, grappling hooks. There was grappling hooks. And then everybody was peeling out of the movie theater.
Course,
and I'm like, this isn't a 10-movie franchise. I remember saying that out loud.
And you're like, that'll never happen. That only happens with horror films, and they're still straight to DVD, so there's no way that could... Oh, there's their egg on your face.
Oh, they're all hits? That makes no sense.
Hey, I wonder why China may feel emboldened. He just had John Cena, and this, by the way, he's just a proxy. All of Hollywood doing their bidding here on an unsuspecting American public. But on Apple, Android, Spotify, you can listen to the audio version. It's a show, a live show, Monday through Thursday. 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay, that's when you can tune in, so we don't lose contact with you. And Father's Day merch
shop, baby.
CrowderShop.com.
I love the one that has your face that has like the expletive that says this content is censored. That could really be just about any time.
I just can't wear a picture of my own face.
No, you can't. But
then
somebody else can.
I'd be his best John Cena. You know, he wears underwear with a picture of his face on the inside, just so I can feel myself.
That's putting a picture of your face.
Oh yeah, all natural. All natural. Good.
Why all the veins?
His forehead is growing like a cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Shut. No Dutch cinema fans for you.
What are you talking about?
Tim Burton. I'll go with Tim Burton. He just copied it. It's the Dutch shut. His forehead is going like, look, people grow. Of course, you get older, but your forehead doesn't go like it's a car jack. I'm all natural. You rang. Sorry, force of habit. I can't.
He looks like Arnold in Pumping Iron, but with a soft helmet.
Yeah. Yeah. Who was also all natural.
About it.
Don't trust any of the John Cena's scrotum. Gets him a little roid ragey. All natural.
You get him angry, he has to sit down for 20 minutes and catch his breath.
Right. And if you breathe wrong, his paper-thin skin just splits itself.
Look, if you piss him off, just take a light jog. About half a mile later, he'll be on the ground. You're fine.
Yeah, exactly. Unless he's been taking EPO. Tries that too.
Yeah, wrestlers like Benoit that gave up everything because they took constant hits, and then you have the wrestlers like him where it's like, listen, don't even touch him. Just barely touch him and fall over.
Look, we know that he's big and all natural, but he's a horrible athlete. Yeah. Okay, take away the drugs, the guy can do anything. But trust him when it comes to Taiwan. He's a diplomat. Haven't you heard, John Cena? Screw that guy.
Yeah, that's crazy as fuck.
In a tizzy about this. Yeah. The NFL is doing this thing called they're halting race norming in $1 billion settlement.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this means. I kind of thought that sports were one of the things that obviously minorities, not Asians, but you know, black. When we say minorities, we mean black Americans, felt like they got a decent shake.
Well, you would think so, right? So last week, the NFL pledged to end race norming, like you said, the practice of assuming black players start off with a lower IQ. And reading this is like crazy.
Well, that does sound like they shouldn't do that.
They shouldn't, right? And they're basically doing that when determining kind of the compensation for brain issues, right? Or injuries that they maybe had from getting hit too many times, which obviously happens in the NFL.
Okay.
And this move was part of a $1 billion settlement for brain injury claims. Race norming made it more difficult for black players to show a deficit and qualify for relief.
That sounds to me like it actually. I will say this. I rarely see this in the show. That sounds kind of racist.
Yes.
For the NFL to do that.
100% correct.
And how much of that curve was thrown off by Vince Young, who scored lower than the statistical random on the QB test?
Well, and like you said, close to 3/4 of them are black. They might take offense.
Yes, I just doesn't seem like a good way to run your league.
Their workforce might be a little.
I hope OJ gets a giant check.
It's like, hey, you
I don't even gotta steal my memorabilia on eBay.
No, literally.
If I did it.
Like,
I back my husband.
Like the ones Adam Sandler got on the golf course, that kind of shit.
Okay,
Anyway,
right,
so
so
the NFL, don't worry, though, that, like that sounds pretty bad, but don't worry, they're still woke. They also just revealed their new Pride logo.
What?
Yeah, so they have a Pride logo, and they tweeted the new rainbow logo read, and I'll just quote it for you here. Happy Pride Month. The NFL is proud to unveil our new NFL Pride Shield to show our support and solidarity with the LGBTQ plus community. We stand with LGBTQ plus people this month and year-long with a commitment to our players, our fans, and our staff to live proudly and authentically. Unless, of course, you happen to be black and have a brain injury, and then we think you start off stupider than white people. Now, let me tell you this. Some people may say, oh, well, this was just a medical thing that they did to determine kind of a baseline for dementia, and that's true. But maybe the cognitive ability test that you gave them when they came into the league would be a better way to use this, because you can have idiots and savants in different categories of race. It doesn't matter if they're black, white, or Hispanic. Two people brought suit against this because they said if they had been white, and the NFL agreed, they would have received a claim. But because they were black and race norming was used, they didn't receive a claim. And it's $500,000 to start with. And if you have kind of a more severe case of dementia, it's $750,000.
This sounds so bad that I almost don't believe it. I feel like I need to do some more digging. Like maybe race norming is just a claim, but it didn't actually happen.
Sorry, guys. We got to give the white people more money. What's the problem? Why you all mad?
Exactly. That would be redistribution in the NFL for sure.
It would be.
Look, come on. There are not enough. White people are not paid nearly enough. All right, you can throw a Tom Brady and a couple of Mannings. Outside of that,
yeah.
Come on.
Well, the NFL recently defended this. So to your point, saying, "Oh, this is probably no," they recently defended this, saying that it actually hadn't harmed anybody, and then they came back and well, our bad. So
that's
how did this
it wasn't just
policy
Leo's
survive?
speech from Django. Let me explain. Skull.
But it's good they know their audience now, the LGBTQ. I tell you what, though, that wouldn't be bad. Just get on the O-line and right before you're about to face up, right, the left guard, just go, yeah, I want to forget you. Right?
Done. Why is there a pride shield? I bet anybody in high school who was getting stuffed in that locker by a football player wishes they had a shield.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.
Alright, okay. Let me try to wrap it up. I'm hungry as shit, man. I'm gonna get something to eat, man. Alright, that looks like a good stopping point. Alright. Oh, man.